Dear students and my teacher friends, Namaskar. I welcome you to the presentation lecture on anatomy of the stomach. Now, before I start this presentation lecture, I would like to tell you a few things regarding this lecture. That in this lecture there are only 7 theory points, but the main thing in this lecture is the that you observe the figures closely and carefully, because now after this lecture, the main lectures are going to start for the stomach, that the histology of the stomach, then the gastric gland, gastric juice, then the digestion of the stomach. So this is the first lecture on the stomach, and now we are starting this lecture. As you can see on the screen, one stomach is shown to you, and as you can see, the entire stomach is divided into 4 regions, that is the cardia, fundus, body, and pylorus. So these are the 4 regions of the stomach. Now, where in the body the stomach is present? So as you can see in the figure, for example, this is the this one is the diaphragm. So inferior to diaphragm, and this is this entire portion, this portion, this is our abdominal cavity. So in our abdomen the stomach is present, and as you can see, the stomach is a J-shaped organ. It is having a J shape. And what exactly the stomach is? So we know the GI tract, okay, from GI tract from mouth to anus. So now if you observe closely here, this is the esophagus, and this part is the duodenum. So we can say the enlargement of GI tract between esophagus and duodenum, the stomach is present. Or in other word, we can say the stomach is connecting esophagus and duodenum. So this is regarding the shape of the stomach. It is a J shape, inferior to diaphragm, and in the abdominal cavity is present, and it is the enlargement of the GI tract and present between esophagus and the duodenum. Now, starting with the first point. So as I have shown you earlier that figure, so there are 4 main regions in our stomach. The first region is the cardia. I am showing you all the region. For example, this region, this is cardia. Second part is the fundus. So this one is the fundus. Third region, so with the dotted line, this part is the body of the stomach, and the final part is the pyloric part. So for example, I am zooming this so that you can see it properly. So this part, this is the pyloric part of the stomach. So in the stomach there are 4 regions: cardia, fundus, body, and the pyloric part. Now what is cardia? Which region is cardia? Where it is present? So cardia surrounds the superior opening of the stomach. For example, over here, this is the esophagus, and this is the opening of the stomach. So here the esophagus joins the opening of the stomach and this region. Okay, so this part is the cardia, and cardia is present closer to the opening of the stomach. So that is the meaning of this first point. Okay, now moving on the second point of our discussion. This is the second point. Fundus. What is fundus? Where it is situated? Rounded portion superior and left of the cardia. For example, this is the cardia they are showing. As you can see, the name is written. And superior. So above the cardia, this rounded portion is known as the fundus. Now, as I have told you earlier, you need to go through all the figures because all the figures are very important for our future next coming lectures. So you go through all the names, all the parts. Okay, this is also very important figure. So you prepare all the names. Okay. Now moving on the third point of our discussion. Inferior to the fundus, large central portion of the stomach is known as the body. For example, this one is the fundus, and inferior to it, large central part. So this large central part is known as the body of the stomach. So this is the third point of our discussion. Now moving on the fourth point of our discussion. That is the pyloric part. Okay. Now the pyloric part is divided into three regions. The first region is the pyloric antrum, and this pyloric antrum connects to the body of the stomach. For example, over here, this is the pyloric antrum, and as you can see, it is connecting with the body of the stomach. Then this pyloric antrum itself, it is connecting to the next region, that is the second region. It is known as the pyloric canal. So in the figure I am showing you, for example, this one, this part. Okay, so this part is the pyloric antrum. This is the pyloric antrum, and as you can see with this region, okay, up to here, this part is the pyloric canal. So pyloric antrum is connecting with the pyloric canal. Okay, and third part, pyloric canal leads to the third region, that is the pylorus. Pylorus means gate, orus, guard. Pyle means gate, orus means guard. Okay, so pylorus is acting as a guard. Okay, so here you can see this part. This is the pyloric canal, and this pyloric canal is opening into pylorus, and pylorus is acting as a guard. And how it is acting as a guard? So we are discussing this thing. Okay, so with this we have completed the fourth point of our discussion. This is the theory point. Okay, and this is the figure that you need to observe this part for the fourth point. Now moving on the fifth point of our discussion. Okay, let me find out where the fifth point is. 1 minute. So now we are discussing the fifth point. For example, here it is written that 1 minute. In the fifth point, they are discussing that when our stomach is empty, okay, so that means no food is there inside our stomach. So that time, this is the, you can understand, this is the, this part, this is the lumen of our stomach. Okay, and this lumen is surrounded by the mucosa. Okay, so these are the mucosa, and this mucosa lies in large folds. Okay, so when the stomach is empty, around the lumen, the mucosa which is there surrounding the lumen, it is present in the large folds, and these large folds are known as the rugae. Rugae, and we are reading this as rugae. Rugae means wrinkles. Okay, and we can see these wrinkles, this rugae, with our naked eye, unaided eye. So as you can see, this is the empty stomach they are showing, and in these are the large fold of the mucosa, and these folds are known as the rugae. One more figure I will show you. Okay, for example, this is the lumen, and these are the large fold. So these are the rugae. Now moving on the sixth point of our discussion. So we know that in the stomach the digestion process takes place. Digestion in stomach is a topic. So after the digestion, we know the chyme, the food is present in the form of chyme. So this chyme, then it will be entering from the stomach, it will leave the stomach, and then it will enter into duodenum. Okay, so between the stomach, okay, between the end part or the terminal part of the stomach, that is the pyloric region, and the first part of the duodenum. So the first part of duodenum, for example over here it is written superior part of duodenum, and the superior part is known as the ampulla or the duodenal bulb. So between the pyloric zone and ampulla of duodenum, this is the pyloric, this is the pylorus. Okay, and we know from here the chyme will enter into duodenum. So this passage between the stomach and duodenum is guarded by pyloric sphincter, and this pyloric sphincter is made up of the smooth muscle. So this sphincter is acting as a valve. Okay, so when this valve or this sphincter opens up, so that time the chyme will enter into the duodenum. So this is the meaning of this sixth point. Okay, I'm showing you, this is the sixth point, and this one this one is the figure. Okay, and one more figure. So for example, you can read this. Over here it is written longitudinal section through pyloric region, and in the bracket shows thickened pyloric sphincter. So this is the thickened pyloric sphincter. Okay, this is the pyloric part, this is the ampulla of duodenum, and this one is the pyloric sphincter. Okay, so this sphincter is acting like a valve and it is made up of smooth muscle. So with this we have completed the 6th point of our discussion. Now moving on the 7th point and the last point of our discussion. Now this point, the concave medial border of the stomach. This is the concave medial border of the stomach, and it is known as the lesser curvature. So as you can see over here, the name is written. So this part is the lesser curvature, and the convex lateral border, this one, convex lateral border, is known as greater curvature. So here you can see this is the greater curvature. So now all the figures I am showing you before I wind up this lecture. So you go through all the figures. So this was from this figure we have started. Okay, 4 regions of the stomach. Then this figure, or you go through all the names. Okay, try to remember all the names, because all the names are important for the future lectures also. Okay, and this figure, okay, this one, then this figure, then this figure, oh, 1 minute. Okay, then this figure, then this figure, okay, then these 3 are very important figures. Okay, the muscle arrangement, okay, all the 3 muscles. So next time, in next lecture, we will discuss all this thing, but you go through this in this lecture itself. Okay, then this figure, this one. So with this we have completed the presentation lecture on the anatomy of the stomach. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation lecture, and at the same time I hope this presentation lecture will be helpful in your studies and also for your exam preparation. My name is Manish Kosti sir. I am from Ahmedabad, India. Bye bye. Namaste.